Hello. Hello, and welcome to the Enterprise AI Adoption Management Summit 2026, hosted by Claude Neuro. I am Alice Stein. I am your MC for the day. I am a founder and principal of Stein and Partners, where I've advised tech CEOs on emerging technology for over 2 decades. I also serve as a board member and chair of governance for the US PropTech Council. I'm a founding member of Women Applying AI, a global network serving women working in the profession. And I'm a global ambassador for the United States of America for the Global Council for Responsible AI. It is my privilege to guide us through the day today. Every organization in this room is adopting AI faster than any emerging technology before it. The promise is real, and so are the blind spots. Cost, risk, and value can slip out of view the moment we stop looking closely. Today, we will examine those blind spots and explore how to prepare organizations for successful, sustainable AI adoption. We have two keynotes for you that will set the stage. They will be followed by four focused panels addressing the distinct challenges enterprises are facing today: shadow AI, measurement, governance, and moving from pilot purgatory into production. We will close with a live demo of how Cloud Neuro helps enterprises gain visibility into spend and strengthen governance across complex AI and SaaS environments. To open us up, we have Ravi Reddy, who is an extremely impressive keynote. Um, he has built and scaled companies, backed founders, and now teaches the next generation of how to do the same. Ravi is chairman of Sunera Group and venture partner at Pavestone VC and Silicon Valley Quad, guiding their investments spanning India and the US. Before that, he built a global digital transformation company from the ground up to more than 2,500 employees, culminating in a successful exit. Kudos to you, Ravi. Today, he advises technology leaders across mid to large size enterprises. He serves on the boards of Cloud Neuro, Blue Drop Waters, and many similar deep tech and AI companies. And in his free time, which I'm sure he has plenty of, he teaches entrepreneurship at the Bauer School of Entrepreneurship. So to open us up, the stage is yours, Ravi.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Alice. Thanks for this opportunity. We're going to talk something very important for me that I've noticed in at least last 3 years. Alice, I'm hoping you are able to see my presentation. Yes, and I'm coming across. Okay.
You sound good. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. All right, so the for next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to share. I've consolidated 10 important things to consider when you are innovating in the new era, which is the AI era. And I'm sure each one of you who's on this summit today listening to me is embarking already on the AI journey. So what I've noticed across three different audiences, like I mentioned, is, when I'm looking at AI founders, I'm looking at the technology leaders, I'm also talking to a lot of employees. I'm seeing a common concern. And I'm also noticing that there's a significant number of folks are taking the incremental approach versus a transformational approach. Incremental approach is what I call 10% thinking. Transformation approach is what I believe is exponential thinking. So there is a paradox that's going on, and just to set the stage, right? Organizations today, almost 90% of organizations have already embarked on an AI journey. There's hardly anyone whom I am talking to who has not yet embarked on AI journey. And a deep research recently, executive research, showed that organizations are not seeing the impact of that, neither in the top line or on the bottom line. So where is this impact going? In most cases, it is improving an employee productivity, but yet not resulting into bottom line gains. So we're going to talk about this, why this paradox. Yeah. So, and I've kind of consolidated that to make it easy for you to understand, digest, and implement, right, in terms of 10 considerations. So let's start with the first one, right? First one, what I'm noticing is, we all know that technology is everywhere. but the transformation isn't. So the problem is not simply access to the AI, right? It is that we are inserting, what I'm noticing is we are inserting tomorrow's intelligence in yesterday's processes. Yeah. So unless we have changed the technology, we haven't changed the enterprise. So what's one important thing to notice is you can't put, so that's the number one, right? Stop adopting to AI, because if you don't reinvent work, you adapt to AI, you are going to get stuck sooner or later. Number two, just imagine this, right? If five AI and tech entrepreneurs today come together and build a new business, do you believe they can disrupt you? Because what I'm noticing is the biggest competitor is, in most cases, is not yet born, does not exist yet. So I guess the AI adoption should not be the goal. Like the way nobody won the internet by building hundreds of internet projects in enterprise. They did not win the mobile phase by building multiple mobile apps, right? So winners will redesign the business. So, so don't ask, where can we use AI? I think the question to ask is, what can we now do that previously it was impossible to do? I think that's the question. Number three, right? In most cases, and if some of us who have been in these transformation projects before, you know, we always believed that maybe an SAP or a mainframe or there's a technical debt we are trying to transform from. So, but the bigger constraint, maybe your current approval process, your organization hierarchy, how you conduct your meetings, how you created your job descriptions in the past, and the boundaries we have laid between silo boundaries we have laid between our finance, our legal, our HR, right? And the way we have defined KPIs. So I guess important thing to note is your legacy system is not your technology debt. It is your organization. Yeah. Technology transformation without organizational transformation gives you faster old work. You don't want AI to do faster old work. So that's the number three. Number four, some of us who have been in this, a few decades ago, where there was an introduction of, replacing a steam engine with electric motors. We are in the similar phase, right? Where early factories often replaced the steam engine with one electric motor, but kept the same shafts, kept the same shop floor, right? And the breakthrough came when motors directly became part of machines, which resulted in the factories creating a new flow when the motors went into the machines. So this giving the chat GPT or giving a co-pilots everywhere is, again, we are going into the same path of one motor, multiple machines. So the key point here is that the breakthrough comes when we design the factory, not when we install the motor. So are we redesigning the factory? Now, why is that important? Because it is we as technologists, right, have to start thinking like a CEO, not like a technologist. Right? The point is not a better sales emails or a faster support response or more lines of code. Right? The CEOs have to redesign the entire outcome. Right? So what is the key takeaway here is 10x rarely comes from doing the same thing again and again. Right? So don't be a technologist, think like a CEO. Number 6, don't be in the cage. What you see on the right, knowledge. If you are respected because of your knowledge, your analytic skills, because you generate reports, you're good at execution. If knowledge and analysis has become cheap and abundant, the premium is moving. The premium is moving towards judgment, curiosity, empathy, courage, right? So AI does not make humans irrelevant. AI is not making humans irrelevant. Right? It challenges us to become more human. It is challenging us to become more human. So key takeaway is AI lowers the premium of knowing. It raises the premium on judgment. So with that baseline, let's go to the questions we should ask if we kind of start evolving ourselves from a technologist to a CEO. If we are becoming challenging and becoming better human with better judgment, better empathy, then the number 7 consideration is don't ask the wrong question. How can I use AI to make my work faster? Instead, that means that you'll send faster emails, you do faster coding, but they are all optimization questions. The 10x question is, if I were creating the company today with intelligence increasingly abundant, would I design this process at all? Right? That's the question. So the key takeaway is don't put AI into the workflow. Put the workflow itself at the question. Yeah. So let's look at, if you start doing that, then you'll start understanding the next consideration, right? How do you look at AI transformation in 4 levels? Most organizations are going from tasks to workflow to functions to business model disruption. I feel like it's the exact opposite that they should be going. Because once you go from task level, you get stuck somewhere between function or workflow level. But if you look at the other way around, the 10x transformation is going to start from looking from a business model, right? Because tasks just help a person to do something faster. What workflow does is it compresses many steps. What function does, it rethinks how sales or finance or IT operates today. It rethinks that. But business model thinking will change the way we sell, we price, we personalize. So key point here is AI should become the agenda of the CEO. And when it moves from the tasks level to business models, it becomes the agenda of the CEO. I think that should be the important consideration. Now, if you do that, then you'll start understanding that how to move from software thinking to workforce thinking or digital workforce thinking, right? Because as you can remember, some of you, right? Software recorded work. So humans were required to record work. The co-pilots assisted the work. Agents begin to execute the work, and digital workforce coordinated the work. Right? So what is the key takeaway here that I feel is we are moving from software that waits for humans to systems that pursue outcome. Right? That's important. And if you get that right, then you'll get the 10th consideration right? Don't automate the past. Let's invent the future. If you can do that, then you're bringing 10x. Right? So every technology revolution begins with automation, automating the past. The winners eventually invent the future because AI will not be remembered because it helped us write emails faster. it will be remembered because it forced us to rethink what a company of work or a human contribution could be. So the key takeaway here is we have been given a 10x technology, and we are asked, and let us stop asking it for a 10%. So don't automate the past, invent the future. Think 10x. Yeah. So if you get these three considerations right, I'm going to give you a quick framework that you can think about, and I'll publish a white paper on this so that you can have deep dive on each consideration and how to go about it. Here's a quick framework. I can't spend too much time on this right now, but I'll get 30 seconds on this. A framework for how you can build an AI strategy. Think about x-axis is types of AI transformation, y-axis on the vertical column is pillars. Right? These are the 4 different types of transformations going on. There are bold innovators who are saying, I can simulate a new work that I could never do before. There are disruptive integrators, right, who basically, apply it to integrate and solve. Then there are fast followers who can quickly solve, like CarMax used AI to help people to review hundreds of email in less than 30 seconds. Don't have to go through hundreds of reviews. AI could do that. That's a fast forward. And there are strategic builders who are saying, I can build a completely new disruptive business model. I can make my own small models or large models and create my own IP using AI. Right? Now, one can move. It's not a static. One can move from discipline integrator to fast followers. Novartis moved from fast follower to strategic builder. So think like that. And if you can put this, I'm just giving you a method to the madness. And then if you're thinking from a business model downward all the way to tasks, it's what's important is today with these silos, if you can see that the data team is separate, engineering team is sitting in silos, the legal, right? We need to bring these pillars together for any of the previous initiative, whether you're doing fast followers or bold, right? Or discipline integrator. You will have to bring all these pillars together to make an AI initiative successful so that you don't get stuck with 10% and you can continue to think 10x. All right. So with that, thank you so much for listening. And if you're interested in the white paper, drop a note or an email, and happy to share. Thank you.
A very powerful keynote. I especially love what you said about how your biggest legacy system is your organization. I love that. That really stuck with me because I work a lot with clients that are really, it's not a technology problem. We're dealing with organizational shifts and how the most important lever for transformation AI adoption is your workforce. So thank you for bringing that up. I think it's really important. So our second keynote will be Shailesh Kamoor, who is Chief Data Scientist of the AI and Machine Learning Center of Excellence at GEO, where he leads applied AI at a national scale. His keynote focus will be intelligence to integration, the third wave of digital transformation. But before we switch over to Shailesh, I'd like to ask Ravi one final question from the audience. When you say 10x, what actually has to change in how we operate for that to really be real and not just ambition? This is the one question we just got in from the audience, and I think we have a few minutes to answer. Would you mind taking that question, Ravi?
So can you repeat the question, Alice? So what is one thing that has to change?
Because When you say 10x, what actually has to be that one change? What is the one most important change? That's how I'm reading this question that came across from the
Okay.
audience.
Yeah, I think um, I- I'm going to answer this question based on what I hear people's sentiments around it, right? One thing that has, I think, have to change is believing that AI is the biggest opportunity for us to think with a growth mindset of it's going to challenge us to become those real humans. There is a reason why humans are called human beings. And I think AI is really enabling us to embrace that being, that because we have been running too far, too long in pursuit of intelligence, information, and execution. I think it is giving us an opportunity to move from a doer to a framer. And when you start thinking like that, you can visualize obstacles across the departments and across the business model. So your ability to see what you don't see will come from the way you bring your growth mindset that will make you a good framer to see things that others can't see. That will make you a very good judgmental person, because AI cost, AI governance, they are all going to be a huge hindrance and hence you will not know who is going to be accountable for when these things come as obstacles. So I guess for you to be preparing for those obstacles of governance and cost and compliance, you have to bring that mindset that generally CEOs bring to the table. Yeah. Hope that answered the question.
That was a great response.